All right, what's going on, people? This is the Corner Store Podcast. Subscribe, like, comment, and share the content. You can follow us on YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iTunes. Now, this is the first installment of the series Caliber Cousins. So we're going to talk firearms, and you're my de facto cousin, but my guest happens to be my real cousin. So welcome on to the panel, man. Mr. Newer, how you doing, man?
Good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I had a good weekend. Watched some good NFL football. Every game was great. It was like walk-off scores to like win playoff games. So I haven't seen like a good weekend like this in like a long time because I'm a huge NFL fan.
Actually, I don't really watch football anymore. I stopped watching after like Kaepernick and all that those issues. And man, when Kevin Durant switched to Golden State after they could have beat them that year, that's when I stopped watching NBA. But I did catch the game. I don't know who it was, but at the end of the game, it's like fourth quarter, 4 minutes left, 10-10, and they won by field goal.
Oh, you're talking about the Packers and the 49ers.
Yeah, I got a chance to see that. It was
Oh,
nice. It was good.
yeah. Yeah, obviously it's like a lot of controversy with the Packers being the number one seed. They lose to the 49ers, which the Niners really wasn't doing anything all game. And the Packers were expected to at least blow them out. You know, you got a California team traveling to the Midwest under snowy conditions, and still like the Packers really couldn't even just put them away. I mean, you can't keep San Francisco just sticking around like that because they got a good running game, they got a good defense. So you asking for trouble if you got a sling in the mud with them like that.
Right.
So, yeah, man. Earlier today, I went to the gun range, man. I went with Emmanuel, and I think I shot about 400 rounds because I bought both my weapons with me. I bought the compact and a subcompact. So, but yeah, it's
Just out of
always.
curiosity, did you have like a lot of mags, or did you keep loading them one by one at the range?
I have 4 mags per gun.
Okay, yeah, I keep like 6 per gun because I hate reloading. I hate it so much.
Oh yeah, the first couple times that I took them out to the range, I just had the 2 mags that was issued with the weapon. So, but I kind of learned my lesson from that. So I ordered like a couple more magazines for each weapon from this armory out in Utah. Cause like certain armories just won't mail you any magazines, I guess from their standpoint over legal reasons. But I finally found this one in Utah that was willing to mail me some magazines because it's hard
I
to.
mean, it's probably because of the state that you live in, Illinois. Y'all have Chicago,
Yeah,
a lot
probably
more
Cook
strict
County.
gun laws.
Yeah, Cook County because our magazine limit is 10 rounds as far
In Illinois or Chicago?
as Cook County. Cook County.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, we can't even have AR-15s. They are banned in the county. Yes.
See, that's why, folks, you're gonna look at this podcast with this YouTube, and you're gonna get a really good perspective because we got one cousin that's in Illinois, in Chicago, one of the most
Mhm.
strictest cities on gun laws, and then I live in Memphis, Tennessee. We
Yeah,
we just became an open carry state. There's no restrictions on anything that I can think of. So it's gonna be a very interesting set of dialect.
yeah. One may assume that like if you're open carry state, it's like the Wild Wild West. People just shooting each other all around. It's not the case because if you got the knowledge that people may be carrying concealed
Oh,
under concealment,
I'm frightened. I'm scared. Like I don't want to talk crazy to anybody.
right,
Um,
right. And plus, y'all got the Southern hospitality. Y'all are naturally nice to people anyway, right?
I mean, it just depends.
In general,
Memphis is a pretty violent city.
yeah.
It's not violent to me because I grew up here, but I mean, I hear about people getting killed, shot, whatever, every single day, which
Mhm.
makes you want to carry even more. So,
Yeah, it's criminals everywhere, no matter if they're going to be in the South or in the North. I mean, there's bad guys everywhere, and just to kind of get your like opinion, as far as growing up in the South, you was always exposed to guns. Now, was that from like older males to your family who were also gun enthusiasts? Because growing up in Chicago, no one was really into guns like that. If they were, they really wasn't outright with it like that. Because I didn't fire my first weapon until I went into the military, and people would assume that I'm like a huge gun guy. I mean, I wasn't even when I was in the military. fast forward to today, as plus 40, I finally bought my first pistol, and I was like, wow. I mean, I found that I have some passion for firearms. I love going to the range. I love going on YouTube and looking up different reviews and tutorials on different makers and models and everything. So, but yeah, like living in Chicago, man, like people is it's just not gun crazy like that. So as far as you going up in the South, like there's a different relationship when it comes to black people and guns in the South versus up north, because these politicians who are not really gun people like that, they want to put like a lot of restrictions on the law-abiding citizens as far as stifling their ability to like own pretty much anything they want. Those are the people that you're not really worried about. You are worried about the criminals, but obviously they just hurting us more.
I can sit on that soapbox about legal citizens obtaining legal firearms all day. I could sit on it from sun up to sundown, and no
Mhm.
one will agree. Because just to go off on a quick tangent, gun laws only hurt people who follow the laws. But that's not going to hurt the guy that's going to go to North Memphis, and buy a $20 revolver or $100 revolver that probably
Mhm.
has killed somebody. They just passing it around. It's only going to affect the person like me who's going to go to Bass Pro or Academy or just a local gun shop. Guns and Ammo is a big store in Memphis. I'm finna go in there. I'm finna go through the background check. Pay my money, pay more than what I should pay because you're paying for overhead and things of that nature along that's associated with them getting the guns to you.
Mhm.
But it just only hurts us because I mean if you limit the capacity limits are the stupidest thing to me because it's like
Oh yes.
okay 10 shots. If you look at an officer, the normal amount of rounds that's in a magazine for a police officer is about what 15 to 17 rounds.
Mhm.
And don't quote me on that. I'm not a law enforcement professional, so I really don't know.
To
Taking
me,
a
it's
guess.
common sense. I mean, I would assume that they should have at least 15 as far as
I
their
mean,
like
yeah,
their
what I know about guns, um, they always have at least 15 to
as far as the
17
full
because
size.
yeah, a lot of them use Glocks. Like I know some police officers use like Glock 19s, or Glock 17s, Glock 22s. I know Memphis Police uses like Sig Sauer. I think it's a P. I can't P23225 or something. I'm not sure. It's a 40, but it's a big gun, so I'm pretty sure it holds a lot of rounds. But you got police officers that train with these weapons. You got people such as yourself. You were in the Marines, right?
Mhm.
So you got Marines who train with weapons, and if they're in a high stress situation, they can still miss all their shots. Or if they do hit their shots, it's less than 50% every single time. And like I said, I don't have the facts. If you guys want to go on Google and Google it, you're more than welcome to. This is just my opinion.
Mhm.
But from every situation where I've seen like an officer has to discharge their firearm, it's they only hit their target half of the time. So imagine having 15 bullets and obviously you can't shoot 7.5 times. So, they only hit them 8 times out of 15. That's very bad because that's their profession. They train, they have to qualify with these firearms. I got a lot of military friends, a lot of law enforcement friends. Um, and they tell me, yeah, if you get to be able to even get an AR-15, um, you have to qualify with the pistol first. Now, don't quote me. I could have this backwards, but in order, I know whatever they have, they had to qualify with it. Similar to when I got my permit test. You had to. It changed because of the open carry, but you had to, qualify with the gun that you didn't have to qualify with the gun that you intended on carrying, but it was highly recommended. But you got these people that qualify with these guns, and like I said, it's a full size weapon. So I don't know if you guys know about how weapons work, but you're controlling an explosion, inside of a metal or polymer stainless steel, frame.
Mhm.
That takes a lot. So when you're shooting, it's gonna go up, like that's what you call recoil or
Recall. Yeah.
kickback. So the thing is, with those full size weapons, the recoil is as low as possible. It's not like having a Glock 43X or a Glock 43. Glock 43X is like a less than 4-inch barrel. Recoil's very high. I know Springfield Hellcats are very popular. They're known as very snappy pistols. But you got guys with big old guns, like I'm talking about the size of 1911s. We know how big 1911s are.
Yeah.
They messing with guns that are the size of that.
Mm.
And you got these if they let's just do some simple math. I can go off into tangents.
Yeah,
But
go ahead.
we have 15 shots and you only hit 7 out of 15. That means you need to get a reload in. But think about it like this.
Mm-hmm.
If you got somebody that hit 7 out of 15 shots, but then you only give me 10 shots, it goes down dramatically. You do half of that. That's only 5 out of 10, or maybe 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then it's a smaller gun. So guess what? Harder to shoot. So it just increases. It increases the chance of you not being able to, effectively put rounds into your target. And then on top of that, the smaller you have, I mean, who wants less bullets? Do you go to the grocery store and say, I only want to buy 10 water bottles at a time? No one does that. Like, let's be honest, let's be grown about it. Guns
Mm-hmm.
are made to kill people, but we're in America, so we don't want to kill people. We just want to neutralize a threat. So,
Right.
the less bullets you have, the less chances you have of neutralizing that threat. And to go back to your question that you asked earlier, did I have any influence with guns? I come from a military family, dad in Navy, uncle Navy, cousin Navy, my other uncle on my mom's side, Marines, my granddad on my mom's side, Navy, granddad on my dad's side, Army. So it's a lot of military influence, but I actually got into guns myself. So I
Mm-hmm.
started shooting when I was 8. Now I didn't shoot guns, but I actually shot. I used to hunt squirrels. We in Tennessee, so we country down here. I used to get paid like $5 a head to kill a squirrel because they were pests. So I'm like, shoot, I was 8 years old. Or was I 10? I might have been 10. I think I was 8. I'm not sure, but there was a lot. That's a lot of money to me now. I'm gonna be honest. I make a good salary, but
So
$5 a head. Ask me how many squirrels I killed that summer.
how many?
15.
So like down south, like y'all could just kill squirrels in certain jurisdictions or what?
Oh yeah, well, I didn't have a actual rifle. I had an air rifle. So I
Mm.
had like a .177 caliber break action air rifle, single pump, Crossman. There was nothing wrong with shooting squirrels. There's no ordinance. I'm not sure if there was any ordinance about it, but who's gonna come and say, "Oh, he's shooting squirrels"? You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't think that was an issue.
Yeah, man. You know, I was so naive about guns in general, and so obviously I'm not gonna be exposed to going into the like gun stores, but I just happened to go to Bass Pro Shops about like a month ago to get a couple ammo cans and some other merchandise. And once I walked up in there, man, it was like I was like a kid in a candy store because they literally got every single thing you need. What if it's gear or like anything for a weapon, safes, like steel toe boots. They got actually good name brand clothes as well. So yeah, man, I'm gonna start going there at least once a month just to kind of get some new merchandise. And but yeah, man, I probably need to get some air rifles as well because I want to get into those, too, because I don't mind just practicing with those and probably have my little girls with me and so they could kind of learn about firearms training as well. So I don't want them to be so scared of seeing a weapon. So they go like, learn eventually.
Yeah, I agree with that because I mean, with me learning how to shoot, I pretty much taught myself how to shoot. So before I could shoot the squirrels, I had a scope on it. I didn't know what it meant to, zero in a scope,
Hmm.
at so many yards. So I ended up having to, practice on. I used to use water bottles, but I noticed that I couldn't tell if I shot it or not. So I learned that, filling them up with water and then shooting them makes them jump up in the air. So that
Right.
kind of, I got a lot of practice in with that, cans, Sprite cans, stuff like that. I just taught myself, how to hold my breath, how to be patient. Of course, there's no recoil. It's no actual explosion, no recoil, but
Yeah.
it did teach me some fundamental things when I actually did get to shooting. And I can't tell you when I started shooting. I just know once I started shooting, I definitely didn't stop. It got worse. One thing
Just
I tell you about buying guns, you will never stop buying guns.
it's,
Never.
it's it's like getting that tattoo, like the first tattoo. Once you
Yeah,
get
that
one,
first tattoo.
yeah. I already got like maybe three or four more guns lined up to like buy. So I need to buy like a safe so I can start filling it up. But like, I gotta buy my wife a gun because she wants a pink gun. I'm not sure what brand, but all she wants is a pink
I
gun.
hate
She
pink guns.
she wants to look pretty shooting a gun. So that's what that's all about.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I hate pink guns. Me, I've never been a color gun type of guy. I've always been a blue or black finish every single time.
Hmm.
Only time I'll do colors if it's, a 1911, but I still want a blue finish with some cherry grips on it, something like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I cannot stand, it's different for her. She's a woman, but I can't stand, she's the excuse, but I can't stand people that, want all these colors. I can understand if you want colors if you have a collection, but like for
Mhm.
self-defense situation, you want something that's not visible. Because you
Oh
don't
yeah.
want people to see it,
Yeah.
you want them to feel it or hear it.
Mhm.
Let's be nice. I'm gonna be nice.
Now, when it comes to optics, right? Do you think that people should master the art of the iron sights before they start getting into optics? Because like once you start shooting and get into the optics, then does that like take away like your natural ability to like, whenever the optics won't be available, if you're using some other weapon, for whatever reason, you have to learn or start to kind of like be comfortable with the iron sights, right?
Right. So, I was on a bowling team in high school. I saw how they curved the ball, did all these different tricks with the ball when they, rolling it down the lane.
Mm-hmm.
But my bowling coach told me you need to learn how to bowl straight before you can learn how to curve. You need to learn the basics. So think about it like this, if you were in a situation, let's just say something crazy. If an EMP were to hit, you wouldn't have a red dot, you wouldn't have any electronics, or say for instance your battery died. You're gonna have to go back to those iron sights. So it's better to master, what's already on the gun. Most guns come stock iron sights, and people like us, I don't know about your financial situation, but I'm poor, so I can't afford all these different red dots. I actually do own some red dots now, but I've acquired them over time, and not, no one who buys a gun first time, they don't buy just the most expensive gun ever. Most
Oh
people
yeah.
have a certain, most people when they get the first time getting a gun, they get something, mid range or entry range. But I would definitely say
Now,
it's better to.
as far as a good weapon, what's your ideal of like a economical price, intermediate price, and like going all out?
So, and this is in terms of purchasing a handgun.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it really just depends from my experience, because my first gun that I bought was like $300. It was what was it, Smith and Wesson SD9 VE.
Was it
It's
brand
that
new?
gun. You said what?
Was it brand new?
Yeah, it was brand new. I bought it from a gun show. Um, it was paid cash for it, but it's that gun that pretty much everyone buys when they don't know anything about guns and they're buying their first gun. It's a silver, it's a yeah, stainless steel slide in a polymer bottom, so black and silver.
Hmm.
300. I mean, it just depends. So it's like, are you trying to, if you person trying to get a concealed carry gun, you're gonna spend a little bit more, especially if you're getting like compact, especially subcompact. Because what
Hmm.
I've been noticing is that these subcompacts cost more than full size weapons. So it's like if you get a Glock 43X, if you go to Shoot Point Blank, which they just changed their name to Range USA, but
Oh,
if you go to,
how recent? Because we got
yeah,
many out here.
what Range USA's?
No, shoot point blank.
Yeah, that name change coming soon. I only know because I be in there like every week. So,
Oh, okay,
and then
okay.
they got a nice range too. But I've noticed that the Glock 43X, you go to Shoot Point Blank and get one for like 550. But I'm like, shoot, I can get a Glock 19. You know, it's a slick kind of compact, but not really. It's definitely not a full size, but it's definitely not far from full size. But you can get a
Mhm.
Glock 19 for like $5.99. But I'm like, shoot, $5.50 and $5.99. I might as well get the Glock 19. So
Yeah, the Glock 19 is one of my next couple pistols that I plan on buying. Now, in regards to like body size and like height, now this is just me, but I believe that if you're under 6 feet, you should just kind of stick with a compact. And if you're 6 feet above, you should have like a regular size, full size pistol. So like, because to me, I think that like the bigger you are or the taller you are, then more than likely those full size pistols would be like a natural fit. But if I'm like 5'5" or a woman that's like 5'2" or 5'1", getting a full size pistol to me, just by the eye test, I don't think that would be like a perfect fit for that individual.
I mean, I agree with you, but you got to also think about weight distribution. You can have somebody like me, 6 feet, over 6 feet, but since I'm so tall, I'm always looking so thin, so I can't conceal the gun the same as somebody who might be 5'5" but weigh the same amount of weight as me. You got people out there that weigh 5'5", and I know some people that are 5'5", and they can conceal guns better than me because their weight distribution kind of goes different. So I would
Mhm.
say it just really depends on your body type. If you're a thin person, you're gonna need something a little bit more subcompact. Because I know, because I've been through it. I've tried to conceal that Smith and Wesson SD9. So basically, it's a Glock 19 clone.
Okay.
So
By the way you
that thing
described
prints
it, yeah,
like
it looks like a Glock.
crazy. Yeah, prints
Yeah.
like crazy on me. So I was like, yeah, I need to get something small. That's when I started looking at the Glock 43X. But I still really haven't found a subcompact that really fits me. And I'm definitely not gonna go and buy, I don't mean to bash Taurus, but I'm not gonna go buy me a Taurus. I'm not gonna trust my life to a Taurus. They got the G3C out there, which is pretty attractive for the price. You can get it for under 300. Could get
Mhm.
you like what 13, 12 or 13 rounds plus one, which is better than the Glock. But I know that Glock gonna shoot every time I pull a trigger. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't. One thing I would definitely advise against is cheap guns. Like anything, everything in life has a cost. And if you buy a gun, I had my Smith and Wesson, for like what 6 years. I never shot it at anybody. I wasn't really trying. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to shoot anybody, to be honest.
Right.
Only in a situation where my life is in danger. But when I had that Smith and Wesson, I only shot it 4 times in 5 or 6 years. You're not gonna shoot it like that. So it's like you need to get a gun that can. And most people also don't clean their guns.
Yeah.
People
Yeah,
they
that's
don't they
another
don't clean
thing.
their guns, so it collects nothing but dust and dirt and grime. So you need a gun that'll be able to withstand that. That's why we say look at that Smith and Wesson MMP. Don't get anything that's not MMP. Glock, HK, Sig. Even though Sigs don't have drop safeties in them, that's why I wouldn't touch a Sig. But it just depends. If you buy a cheap gun, you're gonna get cheap results. And I learned that the hard way. That Smith and Wesson I bought, $300. It was cheap, but I was like, what,
What was the
21
caliber?
years old.
What was the caliber of it?
It was a 9. They made them in
Nice.
two versions, a 40 and a 9. So
Okay.
yeah, I was 21 in college. I couldn't afford that. I couldn't really afford to get a Glock. Glock was like 500, 600. So I got what I could.
Mhm.
But now, looking in retrospect, if I would have saved up more money, bought that Glock 19 like what I wanted, I would still have it to this day and it still be working. Because that Smith and Wesson, um, like I said, I only shot it like 5, 6 times, and the magazine falls out now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when I take it to the range, literally like 1 or 2 shots, the whole magazine falls out.
Yeah, you need to retire that weapon, man. Get it, give it to the police or give it to some type of armory where they could just decommission it, melt it up, and turn it to another
I
weapon, man.
still got it. I know what it is. The magazine release probably got weak on it. It needs to be replaced. But then again, I looked online. I can't find any magazine releases on it. It's like they don't make them. I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
I just call Smith and Wesson.
yeah. Yeah, man. In regards to like dirty weapons, obviously, like if criminals are getting weapons from the black market, and it's not like that they're taking the time to clean these weapons, right? I mean, because like dirty weapons causes inaccurate shots, and obviously they're not going to the range more than likely, so they're not proficient shooters, and they're shooting dirty weapons, and all these bullets are just spraying hitting innocent people. So that was my theory on why. Well, one of the theories on why like innocent people get killed from like stray bullets from these thugs and gang members just want to shoot up the place.
Yeah, I mean, dirty guns cause inaccurate shots, but it's also mainly because they don't know how to shoot. They know they committing a crime. When you're committing a crime or you're doing something you're not supposed to doing, your heart is at an elevated rate. You're not thinking straight. You can be sloppy. You can miss things. Like I just told you earlier, you got these law enforcement professionals or these veterans, 20-year military, 30-year military veterans, combat, and
Hmm.
they can still miss shots. So if the trained people are missing shots, we know the untrained are
Yeah.
for sure, without a doubt.
Now, as far as military personnel, now we only shot M16s
Hmm.
as far as enlisted, but the officers they were like allowed to shoot pistols.
Hmm.
And I had went to Kuwait for 6 months, and I was fortunate to be working for like a three-star general. So instead of carrying around this M16, because it was just so inconvenient to just constantly carry around this pistol in the middle of the desert, they allowed me to turn that in and carry a 9 mil Beretta. But I never shot it out there. I never even even asked about just testing it out. I mean, I was
Was
just
it
happy.
M9 Beretta?
What's that?
Was it an M9? One of
Yeah,
those. I hate those things.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
shot one
I
before.
never shot it, and I wish I did, but I mean, I just wanted to like not carry the M16. That was the main reason why I wanted to turn it in, so I could just have the convenience of just carrying around a pistol. And plus, I look cool. I'm like a sergeant carrying a pistol, and everybody else that's enlisted carrying their rifles. So I kind of felt special in that way. But yeah, like military enlisted really don't shoot pistols like that while they're in the military. They only shoot M16. So just to kind of give that type of background as far as like why military personnel, I'm not really proficient in like firing pistols because that's not what we were trained in.
Right, and that makes sense. You still have the shooter's discipline, but it's a lot easier to shoot an M16 versus you know a compact pistol because I mean the M16 is so damn heavy,
Hmm.
super heavy. It's
Yeah,
got a 18-inch or 16-inch barrel on it.
I think it's 16.
And so
Yeah,
you got 16, and what you had the M16 A4, A3.
A4.
So A4 was that the one that came in 3-round bursts or
Uh,
full auto?
it was 3 round.
Okay.
Three
So yeah,
round.
that thing heavy, like that thing probably weighed like what, 10 pounds or more?
It was heavy. It
Yeah.
was heavy, man. It was heavy. So
But because it's so heavy, it's a lot easier to shoot because that explosion is going on in that chamber is a lot more contained.
yeah, the weight is absorbing most of the
Hmm.
recoil anyway.
All
So
of that muzzle velocity,
yeah, and plus you're like shooting at like a position which you're kind of like stable, like the prone or one
or you
knee.
got it shouldered.
Yeah, yeah, you got the sling as well. So yeah, it's a lot of control when you're shooting M16 versus just doing a freehand a like basic stance when you're shooting a pistol. Because I actually prefer like the wheeler stance where it's like a slight boxing stance where like you're shooting and you're using that leg to be in the rear, which you can have like more stability when you're like firing. You're kind of controlling the recoil. And I like the wheeler stance better than the natural. You just stand shoulder width apart and just holding up your hands in the isosceles position and just shooting. I don't like that position. So
Yeah, I don't really know what stance I shoot in. I just shoot.
you just shoot, huh?
Yeah, I just shoot.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah,
I
man.
kind of, I think I hold it the same. Like I think my position is like this. Like I don't like to do like this arms locked. I learned you can't really do that just over time.
Okay, so It sounds like what is your feet stance?
My feet, I got my left foot in front of my right,
And you're right-handed?
or I stand. So I either have both feet even and hold it like this,
Yeah.
or I kind of like go off to the side a little bit towards my left
Oh,
and keep my
okay.
right back.
That's like a wheeler stance, but the stance that you learn in the CCL classes, that's the isosceles position, which both arms are extended out and you just stand it shoulder width apart. So yeah, I hate that stance. So, but yeah, you're likely doing the wheeler stance where it's like a slight boxing stance where one foot is in front of the other, and you kind of got your elbows kind of like slightly bent,
Mhm.
which the like the recoils is being more controlled with like a bent elbow versus just having like straight arms out. So, but yeah, just something that I just kind of learned recently. So, because I did my CCL class 2 weeks ago, so I finally got that out the way. So, I sent
So
them
you
my
got your
paperwork.
permit now?
I don't have it now. I submitted all my paperwork to the state police, so I'm just waiting to get everything back for now. And currently, I'm getting my paperwork together for the Florida license. Because if I have Florida, then that would give me access to like 20 more states.
Hold up, you can get a Florida license and not be a resident of Florida?
Yeah, I could get a non-resident Florida CCL license.
You need to send me that link. Well, no, Florida has reciprocity with Tennessee, so I'll probably be fine anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it does. I'm not sure. I just know all the states that we touch, we have what you call it. We have a reciprocity with.
Now, I was the only person in my CCL class because I intended on doing it on Sunday and Monday. When the instructor found out I was a veteran, I only needed 8 hours, which was
Hold up.
just
What's the normal amount of hours that you need?
16 hours. So it covers 2 sessions of 8 hours.
So they couldn't have because you were a veteran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even know that. So I just did that Sunday and I was done with it. So, and during the class, he told me a story about how, well, first he asked me, do I mostly travel by plane or by road trip? I was like, well, since I got 2 kids, I mean, I'm still traveling by plane, but if I also have my weapon on me, I mean, I'll likely do the road trip. So he kind of gave me like a heads up in regards to like if I was to travel with the weapon, right? And if the plane was to divert in a um in a gun prohibiting state, then more than likely I would be arrested on spot.
See, I heard about that. I heard New York was one of those
in,
states where,
in New York, yes,
yeah,
yes,
if you go to New York with a legal firearm, and this one thing I never understood about all this gun stuff is that how come if I legally have a firearm in Tennessee, if I go to New York, I can go to jail. If I go to California, it's not honored. Aren't
correct.
we in the United States of America?
States'
Like
rights.
it makes no sense. So from
States'
state to
rights.
state, they have different gun laws, which is crazy to me. How they have, if you notice, the strictest states with the strictest gun laws
Our blue states.
have the most gun crime
Mm-hmm.
ever. See,
Yeah.
Tennessee is a mostly red state with some cities being blue, but it's not that much. It's gun violence, but not all of it's happening in the cities. But it's like that's unavoidable in the city because you have a higher density of people. First off,
Mm-hmm.
second off, it's a city, so there's more crime because it's more urban. There's no crime out there in farmland and pastures. If it is, I don't know about it. But
Mm-hmm.
out there downtown in the city, by the river, whatever, it's gonna be more crime. People, homeless people, robbing people, doing, I'm not saying homeless people rob people, but crime of robbing people happens.
Right.
But these states, like California is their gun laws are ridiculous. So I'm talking about I think they even have a law with AR-15s that your gun has to be at a certain angle, your grip, your pistol grip.
Oh
So
yeah.
normally it's at a 90-degree angle. You have to have it at like, so you hold it like this normally, but in
Mm-hmm.
California, your grip has to be like this. So I'm like, how can I? How
They
What?
want you to shoot so uncomfortable.
They're deliberately making it harder for people to shoot. But I'm like, this is gonna make me stray off and kill somebody else that I wasn't trying to hit, or hit somebody I wasn't hit, or hit a piece of property that I wasn't trying to hit. Because I know in Tennessee they say, yeah, for every bullet that you discharge from your weapon, you're financially you're just responsible for every single bullet that you fire, which is true. It makes sense. But it's like you got me holding the gun like this and trying to shoot targets like come on now.
Yeah.
You got
Yes.
people that can't even hit targets holding it just like this. But
Yeah.
you think they're gonna do it like this?
Yeah.
It makes no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's amazing how most of these laws that's coming out is really coming out from like people who have absolutely no knowledge or any idea how
They go
guns
watch these
work.
movies. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. That's what it is. So
A lot of people think that AR-15s stands for assault rifle 15, and it
hey,
stands for armor light rifle.
I actually thought that too. I thought that too, like once upon a time. So yeah. Yeah.
Shame on you, but it's
Yeah.
okay. You're educated. But a lot of people
Hey,
think
hey
that
man.
ARs are fully automatic, and I'm like, for you to get a full auto weapon of any caliber, you need a Class 3 firearms permit straight from the ATF. Oh, yeah, I think it's ATF, right? I'm not sure.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. I just know that you need a Class 3 firearms permit, and that takes a lot to get. They go in, and you need to have a suppressor. If you want to get a suppressor in Tennessee, or really in any state, you have to wait like a year, like what, 8 to 12 months. So you pay for it today. You pay your $1,000, and then 8 to 12 months, you get your suppressor if they approve it.
Yeah, that's a
I'm like,
Tennessee. Wow.
well, I think it's across the board. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
okay. Okay.
I'm not sure. I haven't researched any of this. I'm just kind of talking, but it's just ridiculous. The only people that this hurts is the people who are legally trying to get it, because the suppressor that's on the street for $100 or for 500 or 1,000, whatever they pay, they're not going through no background checks for that,
Yeah.
and they not. And they're criminals. They can't legally buy guns anyway from a store, because they're gonna get flagged and probably gonna get arrested.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, here go me. I'm trying to go to the store, buy my suppressor, buy my full auto gun. I gotta wait, 8 to 12 months, and then the ATF, FBI, whatever, they go through my personal life from when I was born up until now.
Right. You're giving
So
them all your information. So like
all my
you're
personal business.
right, but still so many restrictions on us. And remember that weapon that I had sent you? It was from Daniel Defense, that DDM4 PDW.
Hmm.
And then you recommended that if I was to get it, I should get a condenser. And I mean, and then
Oh, you
like,
mean uh you mean a suppressor?
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah. 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 Suppressor. So, um, and then upon further research, I had found out like a short time later that since I live in Cook County, I can't legally own it.
You can't own the weapon itself. Oh yeah, because you said no AR-15s.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that
Right.
is an AR. Well, really, it's an M4, but it's a civilian M4. M4s is really military weapons.
Right.
AR-15, it's a common misconception. They think that the M4 and the AR-15 are the same. It's called an M4 and it's called an AR-15 for a reason. AR-15 is a version of the M4 that was made specifically for civilian use. It only comes in semi-auto um, configurations. Now, if it's full auto, it's because they either have the permit to convert it to a full auto, and notice I said convert.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the legal ability to convert it to a full auto weapon, or you got people that are out there like converting their weapons illegally. But it's like, how can the government, or how can you monitor stuff like that? Say for instance, if I buy, I know, does your state do emissions checks on vehicles?
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah.
Tennessee doesn't do that anymore. They stopped doing that a long time ago.
Well, I don't got to
So,
worry about that no more because I bought an electric vehicle like 6 months ago, so I'm good.
oh yeah, you great.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you get a gun, I mean, if you get a car directly from the dealership and it's made to emit a certain amount of emissions, you bought it like that. But then they turn around You get a Mustang and they put a straight pipe in it. Now it's emitted more than what it should. How are they going to be able to enforce that for millions of people?
Mm.
There's no way for them to do that. So, but then at that point, when you're breaking the law, you're a criminal at that point. So that goes back to the point of these gun laws only affect people that want to follow the rules. And then sometimes people break the rules because they don't really understand all the rules. I'm not saying that they're all bad people, but people do make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I jaywalk all the time. I don't do it now, just for the FBI people that are watching right now. But you know, I didn't understand that you can really go to jail for that at the time. So it's all about comprehension and understanding, and then but which leads you back to education. So instead of trying to ban everything, people simply need to be educated on it. And then if they make a decision after they're properly educated, that's when they're a criminal. That's when they break the law. That's when you can do strict this or strict that. But you can't just
Mm-hmm.
ban. Like, you got people that I never understood how veterans can be 17. Well, citizens can be 17 and go to the military, but they can't own a firearm. They can now. You can get a permit. If you're in the military still, and you can get a permit while you're in the military. But it's like, wow, they can't drink alcohol. They can't smoke tobacco. They can't own a firearm. Well, they can't own a handgun. They can own a rifle. In most states, you can be 17 to 18.
Now, can y'all get rifles and shotguns in Walmarts down there?
No, they took those out because it was a shooting in Walmart down here in like South Haven. It's like 20 minutes from Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some employees shot them and they took guns out of Walmart, which
Oh,
still didn't make sense because you got an employee that got mad at his supervisor. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation. You got somebody who came in and broke the rules. You can't carry guns into public places or to places that prohibit guns. But that's not going to stop the person that wants to break the rules. I
mm-hmm.
can go into a city park because there's a city ordinance that you can't carry firearms in the city park. I can go in there without a gun, but that's not going to stop the guy who illegally has a gun or who might legally have a gun and still bring it there anyway.
Okay, so since y'all are open carry state, y'all don't need to have a conceal and carry license.
I'm not sure with the law because I have a permit to conceal. I've always had one. So I think the way the law is, well, you know what?
Because like my thing is, if y'all open carry, then it makes no sense to get a conceal and carry. I mean, if you go have a weapon and choose to conceal it instead of open carry, then it should be a big deal.
I think with the open carry law, you can conceal or open carry without a permit.
Okay.
But I had a permit before this, long before this law became in effect. So I think my permit turned into an enhanced carry permit. So with the enhanced carry, it's a little bit different. You can carry in a little bit more places. I think you can carry in a state park or something like that, or into
Mhm.
different places. But I'm not entirely sure. But I knew that the law used to be I wasn't covered. So if I was concealing and we weren't an open carry state, if my gun were to show, like, say for instance, I'm bending over and you can see my gun in my waist, inside my waistband, that becomes open carry at that point. Even though my shirt is still kind of hiding most of the gun, the fact that you can see it in my waistband is
Mhm.
open carry at that point. So I'm glad that they passed that law because I'm good no matter what. So me personally, I believe in getting the permits. I believe in taking the classes, going the extra mile. So that way, if I were to be in trouble, I can just say, which I'm not going to be in trouble. I'm not going to speak that into existence, but
Mhm.
I can say like, hey, it was just an honest mistake. I've done all the training. I'm not, negligent. I've done what I need to do, because you're not going to shoot on target every time in a high stress situation. And then, sometimes, you just make mistakes. But I think the way the law goes is the open carry applies to open carry and concealed. Or the way it applies is it only applies to open carrying. And if you conceal and they find out, but I'm like, if you conceal, how they gonna find out? I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
how. Is every Memphis police officer finna say, "Oh, shirt check"? Let me see if you have a gun. I
Mhm.
don't think so.
Now, I think that my state is just so full of themselves because our license is pretty much kind of like works in the neighboring states, but those neighboring states, none of their CCL licenses work in Illinois, which I thought was kind of hilarious. So like Illinois just basically saying fuck y'all licenses. I mean, we are kings. We know what's best for our citizens. So we not go recognize y'all licenses. I mean, ours is good, but these other neighboring states they take Illinois CCL licenses, which I thought was kind of funny, including your state, Tennessee.
Oh, I just looked it up. So they do have a handgun carry permit, which is the enhanced. That's what I have now. So it covers you. Um, Basically, you can carry concealed or open. It doesn't matter. Now they do have a specific concealed carry handgun permit, and it says you must carry concealed at all times. It says the fee for the permit. I'm not gonna talk about that. It says you may not carry at any school or university, public or private, and then you have to have a background check run every 5 years.
Mm.
Now with the enhanced, it doesn't say. It just says you shall have the permit in their immediate possession. Um, it entitles them to carry any gun, whether they possess it or own it. So that's not, and this is from tn.gov. Wish
Mm.
I could share my screen right now.
Yeah, you can share it.
So, oh, I can.
Yeah, you should be able to. Because I don't think you have any restrictions. So yeah, you should be able to share
Can
it.
you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tennessee, it's not really saying what all comes with it. I'm pretty sure. What here go the laws right here, but it's an enhanced permit, which is what I have now, and then they have a concealed carry permit, lifetime. But I'm just kind of curious.
So since you got a lifetime, then you don't have an expiration date on your license.
I don't have the lifetime. I'm gonna get there when mine expires.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm definitely getting the lifetime. Yeah, we're not gonna go into these laws. That's too much.
Yeah,
We'll
I
look at that
believe
next time.
that at like a certain time, you trying to get out of this. Okay.
Yeah, I got to.
I believe at a certain time, both our 40 cars and CCLs is going to be combined into one. So once that happens, then yes, it'd be better for me. I don't gotta keep tabs with like two separate expiration dates. So I mean,
Yeah, if you can get a lifetime, if they offer that, just go ahead and get it because it's still cheaper. Because I mean, if you pay $100 every 10 years, I mean, I know you plan on being at least 90. You know,
yeah.
if you do 55 more times, that's $50. And I'm like, well, you just pay 200 for the lifetime, be done with it.
If I can only live as long as your grandfather, you know, I have like another 40 years in order to even, make it up to his point. So, but yeah. So
Yeah, but by then you probably won't even be touching guns anymore. You're just gonna be sitting back, enjoying life. So
I mean, honestly though, in 2030, that's the earliest I could retire. So we're talking from the time I turn 50 up till, whenever. I pretty much got like the freedom, the time to like do just about anything I want. And since I have this new passion and enthusiasm with firearms, I mean, I'm going to be firing like a lot, especially if I'm not doing anything. If I'm not working, I mean, the only thing I'm pretty much obligated to is making sure that I'm like there for my girls, sporting events or I don't know, recitals, whatever that they may have and what my wife may have, and of course, date nights and this and that. But besides that, as far as my free time, I'm gonna be using that to obviously like work out, play some golf, I love fantasy football. I love sports, watching sports, and of course firearms. So yeah,
Yeah, fun fact
it's
about your veteran
retirement.
status.
What's that?
I'm sorry. Um, Shoot Point Blank on Thursdays has discounted range access for veterans.
Okay, I'll look into that.
So you
Based on
can,
my schedule right now, I work Thursday evenings, and then I got a quick turnaround Friday morning to like go back to work in the morning. So, but yeah, I'll definitely look into that though.
yeah, I shot at Shoot Point Blank 2 Thursdays ago. I don't know why, but they thought I was military, ex-military. I don't know.
Hmm.
He said military discount. I said, you need an ID? He said no. I said okay. Shoot, I'm not gonna say no. But he let me shoot. I think I paid because I already have my targets. I have eyes and ears of my own.
Hmm.
I got a lot of bullets because I've been stockpiling bullets ever since everyone else has been stockpiling bullets.
Yeah,
So I
every
think I
time I go
paid
to
like
the range,
$9 to shoot.
I like bring more ammo back to the house because I don't shoot everything I buy there. So I just
See, I don't buy ammo from ranges anymore. I go
yeah.
straight to Academy or Bass Pro. That's it. Because it's so much cheaper. Like I remember a time when I can get the Tennessee quality firearms. It's like reloaded ammunition, but it was pretty good. And you can get a box of 50 for like $15. So
Mm.
what is it, like 15 cents per bullet?
Oh man,
Or was it 30? Hold
yeah,
up, 15 divided by 50.
I gotta look into that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
30
'cause
cents. So
I
that
didn't
was
know that
pretty cheap.
Bass. I didn't know that Bass had cheaper ammo though.
Yeah, but see, I buy the Winchester. I've tried Remington. I've tried other crappy bullets, but the cleanest burning bullets that I've seen and the best handling bullets are what is it? C something Blazer. It's called Blazer, and then I get Winchester too.
It a blaze. It's like that black and gold box or whatever,
Hmm.
or the gold writing. Okay, I've seen that
Yeah,
before.
Winchester and Blazer are my preferred ammunition manufacturers for my guns.
What you think of Federal?
I like Federal, but I can't find any Federal. I've never shot Federal 9 millimeter before. Now I have Federal hollow points, but obviously I haven't shot any hollow points. I'm
Hmm.
not trying to shoot those. Um, their 5.56 is pretty good.
Mm, okay.
So their 5.56 is pretty good. Shot Winchester 5.56, but um, yeah, Federal pretty good. Federal is kind of expensive.
Yeah, that's what I've been shooting at this range that I went to for the past 2 times. So yeah, yeah, I was buying Federal, and I just bring whatever I don't shoot there, I just bring back home with me and just kind of keep it as storage.
Hold on, give me one
But
second. I'm gonna get.
hey, I'm gonna give you a list of the weapons that I plan on buying. It's like six I have on my list. So I plan on getting if I was to have like a 40 caliber, I would likely get a Glock 23 Gen 5. And
So
I
you
plan on
had me
getting
until you said Gen 5.
oh you
They say
so
Gen 4 and Gen 5 is the worst. They said they really started veering off after Gen 3.
well the reason why I like the Gen 5 is because they don't have those finger grooves on the handle.
Hmm. Yeah, see, they said a lot of people didn't like the finger grooves.
Yeah. So
Here, I'm
uh
looking this up right now. This Glock
okay.
25.
The next one, Glock 19. I like the Springfield Hellcat. Now that would be a concealed carry weapon.
What, this one?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Yeah, Glock 19, that'll be more of a house defense weapon. The
Yeah, so
Hellcat,
this 23 is basically a 19, but just shoot 40.
right,
Because the 19 has a 4-inch barrel, too.
right. They're pretty much like right. They're the same weapon, but the different caliber. So yeah. Now, I like the Springfield Hellcats. I like the Springfield XD. I want to get the M&P Shield
I
Plus
have an
9
HD.
mil. You got HD?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. What about Canic? I like the Canic TP9 SC.
Which one is that? Is that the one that comes with a optics plate only on the top of it on the slide?
I think that's optional. Matter of fact, let me
I
go
see. I
ahead
wish
and
my friend was on here because he loves Canic. He just bought a Canic. He just bought a Crimson Trace red dot for it, and he's in love. And I ain't gonna lie, that Canic trigger is a very nice trigger. I like it.
let's see. TP9. You know what? I believe the one with the optics, that's the Elite.
And Canic is pretty cheap too.
Let's see.
It's a Turkish gun, right?
Yeah. Okay, now I'm finna share my
I
screen.
know too much about guns.
You said what?
I said I know too much about guns.
Yeah, man. You like you know what? For like someone your age, you are a gun enthusiast and semi-professional since you've been doing it for so long. That's actually pretty cool, man. So let me
I
see.
played a lot of Call of Duty as a kid, and I was like, I gotta have these guns in real life.
Uh, see, that's it right there.
Yeah, that's the exact one he has.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty nice if they can, build some more, have a lot of reliability improvements. Which I'm not saying they're not reliable. I just don't know. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not too knowledgeable about Canic.
Yeah.
I'm a mainstream gun type of guy.
So let's get into your so let me get rid of this. All right, so what's some of your favorite manufacturers?
I'll say so far,
Yeah.
I like Glock. I'm a Glock guy.
Now, by Glocks not having safeties, was that a concern for you before or ever a concern?
Well, see, my first gun that I bought didn't have a safety, so
Okay, so you was always comfortable with it. Okay, I
I
get that.
was uncomfortable at first. I was advised to get a safety,
Yeah.
but if you the only guns that need safeties are the ones that are going to stay at home around kids. But if you conceal carrying a gun, you don't need a safety. You got a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to conceal carry with a safety." I'm like, okay, pull that gun out when you need it, take off the safety properly, and then you got people that don't want to carry one in the chamber. Those are people that really get on my nerves. So you mean to tell me?
You got to go through like 2 or 3 steps in order to even attempt a
But
shot.
the hardest step is getting that round in the chamber.
Yeah.
But also disabling their safety because these safeties that are on these guns are very small. So you mean tell me you're gonna be shaking? Oh my god, fumbling, or you got guys that appendix carry, so they pulling up their shirt, or you got them that hip carry, pulling up the shirt from the side,
Your
or
heart's gonna
they.
be racing. The adrenaline's gonna be running.
How are you gonna be able to take off that safety and chamber around all while you're drawing the weapon on the person and trying to shoot them? If you want to look at situations that prove what I'm saying, type in here, I'm gonna go on YouTube and I'm gonna show y'all. I gotta show y'all this. Because if you're a skeptic about how quickly a human can get to you, because if you're in a close quarter situation,
Yeah.
they can get to you quickly. Somebody sent this to me, it was hilarious. So I'm assuming the guy in the black has a handgun. Look at that, stab, slash, slash. So I know the way they do this exercise. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
So the way they do the exercise is they start at short distances and they go further and further out each time, and it shows the same thing. And I'm gonna just show you the furthest distance they have. So look at this. It says 21 feet, 7 meters.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to show you how fast someone can clear 21 feet. Too late. Even though he got a shot off on him, he's already in his face. But look at that. He still got a stab. They say it's evaded, but you don't know who it is that can take shots. You don't know if people are on drugs. You don't know if, like, they got fentanyl going around right now. They got crack. You got people that are on what's that drug called? I forgot. Not heroin. PCP. So you got people that are on PCP, crack, cocaine, all types of different drugs. I mean, you can have alcohol in your system and be able to take bullets better than you would if you didn't have alcohol in your system. So you got this person, they can clear in 3 feet. A knife is going to be the gun in any situation. So you mean to tell me you want to not have a round in your chamber and have a safety on, and you don't know if this person has a knife, a baseball bat, or they just Mike Tyson and can knock your ass out? You don't know.
Yeah.
Why take a chance?
Now, in defense of people who may be in a situation which they're not carrying around with the round in the chamber and they got their safety on. I mean, so like, okay, in that video, someone's charging after me with something while I'm trying to get my weapon out. I'm not going to be stationary. I'm going to back up a little bit just to kind of give myself some more time and space, so that way I can accomplish what I need to accomplish to make sure that person don't get to me. I mean,
that's you though. You've been in the military and you've been around, so you know to do stuff like that.
Okay.
You got people when they get put in these situations, they're deer in headlights.
Okay.
They're
Yeah. I'm not finna just stand in one place and try to accomplish all of those steps while I'm standing in one place. To me, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm going to create more space.
See, what they showed in that video is what most people are gonna do though.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. They must have saw like many videos or gotten like a lot of police reports as far as like seeing what people are doing in those situations. So that's probably why
I've
they
seen
kind
what
of.
people do, not in shootouts, but we have a paintball park. I know there's gonna be people out there. Oh, he's talking about paintball. But we're talking about real life. It's the same thing. You got people that don't want to get hit by paintballs. When I go play paintball, guess what everyone does? They sit down and wait the whole time.
Oh, really?
They hide.
That's not fun.
They don't want to get hit by those paintballs.
I want to get hit. I mean, I want to leave paintball being dirty. I mean, that's just me. So
They sit every time. Or when I play the game, when I play Call of Duty, it's a lot of people that are on your team that'll watch you die. They're not gonna do nothing. They're not trying to get shot because they don't want to die in Call of Duty. So what do you think people are doing with their real lives?
wow,
The same thing, if not worse.
That's interesting. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm telling you, fear is a different thing, especially when your life is involved.
Oh yes.
You're not gonna react the same way. I've had, over my tenure, I've had negligent discharges, and I had fear. So I didn't know what to do. I froze.
Now, how did that happen to you?
Playing with guns.
Now, did this happen in a house or out in public?
It happened at the range.
Oh, okay. Now, do you have a dry fire can at the house?
Mm-mm.
Do you know what a dry fire can is?
I'm familiar with dry fire, but it sounds like something that you shoot and it moves to let you know that you hit it or something like that.
No.
What is it?
Well, this is what we did in the military. Like this was specifically in Kuwait because we can't walk around in camp with the round in the chamber. So like when we're coming back into the camp, they made it make us get out of the vehicle, take out the magazine, take out everything that's in the chamber, and like fire in a can full of sand just to make sure that the weapon is safe. So like for me, because like actually after this video, I plan on cleaning up my weapons since I fired roughly 200 rounds in each weapon. So I got to clean it now and put it back in my lock boxes. But
And what is a good interval to clean weapons? Because I put like 500 rounds through my guns, and you said 200, and you talking about cleaning. So
yeah,
just for
because
educational purposes.
well, I mean, it's to me, it's never really no wrong answer. I mean, as long as you constantly lubricating and keeping it clean, I mean, I'm pretty sure you. I mean, you can't clean a weapon too much. I mean, to me, that's just my opinion. But so basically, like when I'm going to take out my weapons to clean them, I'm going to take my magazines out. I'm gonna check the chamber, and then once I pull the trigger in order to release the slide, I'm going to fire it in a dry fire bucket full of sand. So that's just my extra safety precaution. I just don't want to willy nilly just like pull the trigger, no matter where I am in a house. So I'd rather fire it in this bucket full of sand than just firing it on the floor. If you get my drift.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. I might do that. So, do you have a bucket full of sand right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Just buy yourself a like an empty paint bucket from Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
Add a top to it, and I cut the top so that it can so that the muzzle can like fit inside that hole. So like just in case like a round was to be discharged, pretty much the sand is pretty much going to stay inside the bucket. So
Well, I
you
was
won't
totally wrong about dry fire cans.
get. Well, I mean, it could be called something else, but that's what I call it because I'm dry firing my weapon, so that way I'm making sure that it's safe prior to me trying to take it apart so I could clean it. So,
Yeah, it might be a bang in the house if it's a negligent discharge, but at least it's hitting all that sand.
oh yeah, right, yep. So
That's
yeah,
yeah, that's good. I'm glad I learned something today.
so- and so I'm gonna rapid fire a couple more things, and then we could just pretty much be done. Now, do you prefer striker fired or hammers?
I have never owned a hammer, pistol, or weapon ever.
Mm-hmm.
Or is are ARs striker fired or are they hammer?
I
I think
believe
they're
that
hammer.
ARs. I believe they're strikers.
Well, see, I'm not too familiar with the ARs because not at all. Never really owned one.
Yeah, because there's no external hammer on an AR, not to my
Yeah, but
knowledge.
some guns have internal hammers.
Okay.
It's probably striker fire. Let me Google real quick. We got Google right here.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, but like based off of me like looking at different weapons, just like doing research, and like to me, I just don't like a hammer being on a a semi-automatic pistol. I mean, you might as well get a revolver if you want the
I
hammer,
mean,
but
hammers are
that's my
very
opinion.
dangerous. Um, I mean, guns are dangerous in general, but like, say for instance, if you're carrying a 1911, you got the hammer. If that hammer touches that slide, it's gonna fire, no matter if you pull the trigger or not.
Right, exactly. So that's why for the extra safety, peace of mind. To me, I don't think I would want to own a hammer at all. So, but yeah, I like that. And
I mean, I
well,
want a 1911, but I personally like I wouldn't definitely conceal carry a hammer. The only hammer I would get is a 1911. That's it. Um,
uh,
I do agree with you. You might as well get a revolver if you want a hammer. But it's like,
yeah,
who really wants a revolver? Not me.
you know
I'll just
what?
complain about 10 shots and you take it down to 6
Yeah,
or 8.
Yeah, and just to like reload it under a duress situation. I mean, you're right. You don't want to have a revolver, and as far as like the average person missing half their shots. So you mean to tell me with a revolver that you got 6 shots and you're gonna hit 3 times, but are those 3 shots gonna be good enough to like you know
Neutralize the threat.
right, exactly. So but yeah, I asked you earlier about iron sights versus optics. I mean, I don't have an issue with optics because eventually I'm going to buy some stuff and just to kind of pimp up my pistols at like a later time. But for the time being, I would rather master the natural iron sights on a weapon. Because I mean, to me, I just rather be like a proficient, better shot with just the iron sights versus just adding lasers and all other bells and whistles on a pistol.
Please don't get a laser. All the people I can complain on people who get lasers, and I'm really not trying to bash people. You got to kind of learn that it might not work for you, or it might work for you. But I know me personally, I could never put a laser on any firearm because they're gonna know where I am. You don't want your target, to know, or the threat to know where you are because you lose the advantage. You
Yeah.
only want them to hear that gunshot. That's it. But you don't want to give them your precise, exact location
Oh
or,
yeah.
or where to shoot at. If they got a gun too, oh, I see a laser right there. Boom. I'm going to shoot right there. If
Yeah. That's a
anything,
good
you
point.
want a light, like a tactical light, where you can blind people. But
Hmm.
a laser, I've seen people shoot lasers at the gun range. That thing go all over the place. So you have it right here, and it's going like this when you shoot it. So you can't even put that laser. It takes time to put that laser back on that center mass
Oh, okay.
when you could just put those iron sights on it.
Hmm. Okay.
And
All
then
right.
being honest, you should master the iron sights. But I mean, it's all subjective. It matters what situation you're in. So I mean, if you're in a situation, in a range situation, which that's never going to happen. Most encounters happen within less than 15 feet when it comes to like self-defense situations. So I don't know if we're talking self-defense or an engagement, a firefight, anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But I'm assuming that it's self-defense because we're citizens, we're law-abiding citizens. So and if you're in a city, literally every encounter that happens is less than 10 feet. But it doesn't. It's not far, so you're not gonna have to aim with the iron sight. You're not gonna have to aim with a laser. I mean, a laser would help in this situation, but just for the first shot. I mean, you can ask Kahar that. That first shot, yeah, but I mean, what if you got multiple targets? What if you need to put multiple rounds into that threat to neutralize it?
Right.
The laser isn't just gonna. It ain't gonna help.
Yeah.
Red dots are
And
cool. Lights are
plus,
cool.
and plus having a subcompact, just adding optics and lasers on that weapon. I mean, you're pretty much kind of like putting too much on it anyway. I mean, if you're gonna put all that stuff on like a house defense weapon, I mean, fine. Or if you're gonna use it for competition or for leisure, just to like go to the range. I mean, that's cool. But as far as self defense, in which you're out and about, you're a law abiding CCL licensed carrier. You're having optics and lasers on your weapon. I mean, honestly, it does you no justice. So that's why you got to rely on your training by you going to the range constantly because you have to be proficient in your weapon if you're gonna be a licensed CCL carrier.
And then, really, to be honest, the training that you get isn't enough still. I mean, 16 hours. I know when I took my class back in 20, what was it, 2016, 2017? So 2017. I mean, I think we only needed um I think it was 16 hours too. It was 2 days.
Yeah. Okay.
But 2 days, just to learn I mean, most of the gun stuff is common sense anyway, so I see why they don't teach too much about it. Because I mean, don't shoot at something that you're not intending to shoot at. Don't point your gun at something that you're not intending on shooting at. You
Yeah.
know, if you shoot, you're financially responsible for every bullet that comes out of that weapon. and criminally responsible if that occurs. I mean, it's pretty much common sense, but training. So you said, train yourself, but don't be afraid to take a class. Go to a class, go get a firearms instructor. They can kind of help you shoot better. Because I mean, I used to shoot like maybe like this or something like that, but from going to the range now, I didn't get an instructor, but going to the range, like these range guys looking at me like, this man is holding his gun crazy. Let me show him something. So they showed me something. They showed me, it's better to just kind of lock your hands together, have both hands on the handle, and get a better grip on the gun because you control it better. And then, I mean, if you're in a situation where someone's shooting at you or someone's trying to disarm you, if you got one hand on the gun, it's easier to take from you versus if you have two hands on the gun.
Right. Yeah.
But that came as a result from me going to the range and trying to shoot. So even though I didn't get an instructor, I still got some instruction.
You know what? Prior to me even buying my wife a weapon, you know, I am going to have her shoot several different types just to kind of see which one she's comfortable with, which one feels right, and which one she's proficient at the range. So yeah, because I don't want to invest like $500 or $600 and it's compact for her, which she's not going to go to the range at the same frequency that I would go to the range, but yeah, I would definitely hire an instructor so that way I want to learn some more things, learn some more pointers while she's also going to be learning. So, and plus I got to sign her up for a CCL class too. So I found this black owned one actually by a woman. I talked to her a couple times. She actually pretty cool. So I told her that I'll sign my wife up for her class because she does it on the weekends and just right down the street. So, but yeah. So yo, man, we'll get at this again in like another couple weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks. We'll probably get into either shotguns or rifles. So you just pretty much take your pick as far as which one you want to talk about next, and then I'll do my due diligence and doing some like additional research about more rifles and I actually know nothing about shotguns. So now talk
Yeah, I
about
know a lot about shotguns too.
now, I plan on learning something a lot when we talk about shotguns. So yeah, I'll be ready to be in class for that one. So, but
Yeah, shot.
no,
All
no, a
of
little
it.
something about rifles.
Best home defense weapon ever.
What the shotgun is?
Yeah, shotguns. Like we'll talk about that next time. But if you want a home defense weapon, get a shotgun.
Okay, cool.
That's
All
all you
right,
need is one shot. It's called a shotgun for a reason. One shot.
right. I will leave it at that, man. All right, y'all. This is the Corner Store Podcast. Subscribe, like, comment, and share the content. So this is the installment of the Caliber Cuzns, content. So we're gonna talk about firearms. So yeah, man. Thanks, Lua, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time out. We got over an hour and 20, on this video. So well, yeah, man. I appreciate it. So you have
Yeah, you
yourself a
got
good
some
day.
editing to do.
Yeah, yeah, I do, man. So yeah, it's fun. So it's just like another hobby to do. So, but it's all good. So all right, cuz man, I'll talk to you later, man. And once it's done, I'll see you in a link to it so you can kind of see how it looks, post production wise.
Okay.
So, all right, man, take it easy.
You too.
All right, later.